And I'm a truth teller. I don't care. It's going to hurt. It hurt me to say it. It's going to hurt you to hear it. But everywhere I go, I see black children wilding out, black people wilding out. People got black fatigue and all that. But
I never heard of black fatigue.
Wait a minute.
Y'all ain't never heard of black fatigue?
I never heard that.
Oh, y'all must not be. I'm a former Intel analyst, so I stay monitoring news and different sites everywhere.
Okay.
And it's a thing, black fatigue.
Get ready for news and views from Lubbock, Texas, USA. What's going on? And real talk with people who move and do things. This is the Focus LBK Show with your host, Robert Jenkins.
Hey, what's good, LBK? It's your brother, Robert Jenkins, with episode, I ain't even gonna say the episode on this because we taping several shows today. This is episode 100 and something.
Get it.
Of the Focus LBK Show. We have two very special in-studio guests today. One of them is a repeat guest. In fact, you are our second repeat guest ever in 3 years.
Yeah? Okay, that's what's up.
So we don't typically repeat guests real quick, but I guess when they cool and interesting, we'll let them come on back. Now, people are welcome to come back on the show at any time.
Don't lie to them. You were right the first time.
No. Everybody, LBK, we got Shama Ezer, who is, what do you say? The business.
I am the business.
She is the business. We also have Vanessa Brooks, who is a fintech consultant.
That's right.
So we have these two very special guests in studio today to talk about, it's almost like, I hate to say girl power. That's so played out. But it's like harnessing the power of womanhood to place into balance your business life, your home life, your love life, your spiritual life, all your lives. I guess we ain't cats. We cool cats, but we ain't cats. We do have several lives, though, right? Mm-hmm. So if any of those lives are out of balance, you'll feel it. You'll know your situation just won't roll properly, so to speak. You need everything in balance. Shama is a serial. She didn't want to say that. She's a business owner. She, y'all might recall, she opened the Honor Family Discount Store over there on 34th Street. Y'all still open over there?
We're always having a business.
Yeah.
But there's always changes. You might, drive by there and it might be closed, but that's because people who shop with us know to hit us up first. We're not your standard business. You can't just show up.
But you got shop
and expect, right. Absolutely. I'll be like, you at the store today? Can you be there? I'm trying to get this. Yeah, that's how it works. But we're still there for now.
Okay, cool. Shama is coming in from Portland, Oregon. Are you from Lubbock, Vanessa?
I am not. I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. I've been in Lubbock for a little bit over a year. I moved here from Greenville, Mississippi, though.
Why you moving around? What brought you to Lubbock?
Well, what brought me to Lubbock is my now fiance. He got a job here.
Oh, okay.
However, I knew that I wasn't going to stay in Greenville forever. Mm-hmm. After my mom passed away, and then I was supposed to move, some other things happened, transition in life. So I said, you know what? I'll be here till my kids graduate high school and college. And I said, I'm out, because the demographic there is just, it's just weird. People are different. People just don't respond to people who are new, even though I know about Greenville, Mississippi, been there all my life. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is that they look at you as you are an outsider if you're not born and raised there. So,
I see. Bring that mic down and a little closer to you. Just kind of twist it and pull it in. Yeah, there you go. Right there.
All
That's
right.
good. That's perfect.
Okay.
So Greenville, Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
And do you mind if I ask, what job did your husband get down here?
He actually worked for McLean. Now, our new business is Big Dog Trucking LLC, which is up and going now. We're rolling. Matter of fact, he is in Picayune, Mississippi right now. He will be picking up a load in New Orleans to bring it back to Dallas tomorrow.
Interesting.
Yes.
That is very interesting. You two, I can see, so y'all are definitely business women. Y'all are definitely movers and shakers.
Yep.
Right?
That's how we met.
Yeah.
Actually, we turned PTO into a bit.
Exactly.
What's PTO? Personal time off?
Parents, teachers, organization.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
At our kids' school. Yep.
Yeah, I saw her in the parking lot, and I went to her, and I'm like, pretty much this got to happen. We, we're friends now.
Right.
There was no option.
I was like, what's your name? She was like, Ellie. I said, let me put your name and number in my phone. And from that moment, it took off.
So you going by Ellie?
That's what I call her.
It depends on who I'm talking to and what I'm representing. For the point of this show, Shama, because Shama is part of the Shama Banks lifestyle business.
Okay.
And the Shama Banks lifestyle business is like the umbrella for all my businesses.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so it goes back to the sister circle, the clothing store, the locksmith, my kids' business, helping other people and including myself be the business. So how do you have all of these businesses? How do you have this income without looking like it beat you up, you know, without fighting with your husband or without sacrificing the time with your kids because you're so overworked by these businesses or even by your career. Right. Because again, anything that works in one area of our lives, it works in all areas. And so today I can truly say I'm balanced. I love my life. I love my husband. I have the greatest relationship with my husband. I love my kids. I have the greatest time with my kids. We have real conversations. I take them. I never thought I'd be a loving stay-at-home mom. What? I love being a stay-at-home mom. Like, because I was so career-driven. You know, my husband, before we got married, he said, I hope one day that we make enough money and you could stay home. And I was like, absolutely not. You didn't marry, like you knew who you got with before. Yeah. Like, I'm a career woman. I make
see that
money.
Neck moving, right?
Yeah,
right.
You see, that's exactly what I was doing.
I can't do that.
I was doing
she
all
rolling.
of
She
this,
put it all into it.
Man, today what?
Yeah.
Don't ask me to go out when my kids supposed to be going to sleep. That's I sleep with my kids. Literally, me and my husband, we lay with our kids every night.
Yeah.
Like. And, you hear people say all the time, oh, you're just spoiling them or don't do that. They won't know how to do this. But when they grow up and they out the house, you're missing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm changing everything that I've learned about raising kids is dead pretty much. Like, as far as the time and how important it is to invest that time in them.
Yeah. So you really had a question about that before? You didn't think it was important to spend time with them? Or?
Listen. When you grew up, did your parents not work?
They did, but I think that was the first time in American history that's why we were called latchkey kids in that generation. That was the first time that had happened. It was always a mom at home. Prior to that, women went into the workforce in the 70s, largely 60s and 70s.
Okay, so our generation, all we know is our parents working overworked, you know?
Yeah.
My mom was a stay-at-home mom, right?
My wife is, yeah.
But when I became a mom, the first time I became a mom, I was a single mom. I worked like 12, 13 hours or more. And when I came home, I still was working.
Yeah.
So I didn't have, even when I was there, I was too tired.
Yeah.
I was too tired to eat right. I was too tired to read to my kid. I was too tired. I looked up and she was 2 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
And I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean.
Well, let me ask my producer something real quick. Nate, looks like my waveform is kind of small there. Is it? I assume that. Yeah, but how's my volume looking? I don't see. Is my volume jumping at about -12? -12, test. You said it was good, right?
Yes, it was on 16.
Okay.
Below 16.
Well, bring me up a little bit, please. Check. 1, 2. So the question I have for you, Shama, and really kind of just putting it into historical context too, and it's you seem surprised that you enjoy staying at home, but
that wasn't initial. I'm pretty sure, like that, like you said, it was not your space. That wasn't the headspace you were in.
Yeah, and I grew up in a community.
Yeah.
Where I don't feel like the woman was made to be important enough. That. It was a man's world. And it felt like there was no real equality. The woman was stuck at home having babies. She couldn't do what she wanted to do. She couldn't travel. It was just, I looked around and all of them were doing the same thing. Graduating from school, getting married, having babies and stuck. And not because that's what they wanted. because that's what they knew.
So here's the funny thing about it. I in my last little issue on the website, I talked about there seems to be a shift back to righteous, godly things.
Oh yeah.
And I'm feeling that a lot of people are like moving back and tightening things down. So it's funny that I've heard a lot of women, even when I was a student in the military, I was learning Urdu. And those Pakistani ladies that were our instructors, some of them were ladies, and they even were saying that they felt women's work was not important. You stay around the house and you have babies. But I have always had a totally different take on that. And the funny thing to me is we seem to be finally getting back around. The circle has turned and we're getting back to it. Woman's work has never been unimportant. Women raise and shape the next generation. Y'all transmit culture. Y'all transmit values. The reason we are falling apart as a country is because we have 2 or 3 generations that nobody have transmitted culture and values to.
Correct.
Because women are working and men are working. And you were saying like women at home, it feel like y'all stuck and can't do nothing. What, you think you don't feel stuck when you out work as a mechanic working all day or sitting in a cubicle looking at spreadsheets? That's stuck too.
Oh yeah.
Men don't have no
But
free
it's
choose.
the
You're stuck.
mindset. Your mindset, it depends on where you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And it was that you didn't feel that their value was noticed. Do you get what I mean?
So I think
they weren't appreciative.
Yeah.
For it was as if it was nothing that they were doing. But my mom raised 11 kids and she was goddamn good at it. You know,
she raised a nation. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what, to me, I've always felt that women do. And I feel that we were blessed for my wife to be able to stay at home and raise my kids. And it wasn't always like that. There was a time when we would get home from work. Kim was working, I was working. The kids was in school doing their thing. And we would rush home. Everything was a rush. You get home, the house is dark and cold, nothing's made. We took the food out, thawed out. But you got to get home, you got to cook. You got about 3-4 hours to get everything done.
That rush is crazy.
Homework.
Bathe. Then you try to spend time with yourself or your spouse or whatever the case may be. And then it's been, by the time you finish that, it's time for bed.
And you fussing
up,
too the
and
whole
you're doing
time.
it all over again.
Hurry up and eat.
You fussing because you're under stress.
Yep.
Hurry up. And it's not the kid's fault.
No,
Right.
No.
You know?
No,
Well, this
true.
is what happened to us. At a certain point, we realized Kim was going to have to start staying home. And I was like, oh man, I don't know. Because we had 2 incomes. I was like, oh, how's this going to work? I'm scared. I'm the head of the house. So to me, I say rain or shine, responsibility is mine.
Yeah.
So I say, oh man, am I going to have to get another job? Okay, I get another job too, I guess. Didn't have to do none of that.
Yeah.
Kim was working to keep the kids in daycare and private school and have gas money to go back and forth to get them. When she stopped doing that, you didn't need that money.
Right. Absolutely.
We didn't notice any change in anything.
Yeah.
You know what the change we noticed was?
What?
Come home, my home is quiet.
Clean.
It's orderly. There's no stress. Everything is arranged and laid out for us.
Yeah.
So people are handling different spheres of work and different spheres of responsibility and influence. But I think that's the way it was intended to be. And I think we have been led astray. What Malcolm X said, we've been run amok, led astray by women didn't work before and you had all you needed.
Yeah.
And you had culture being transmitted to the next generation.
Yeah.
Right now in the black community, I don't know if y'all notice, I notice our kids is a mess.
Yes, they are.
Why? Because ain't nobody transmitting nothing to them.
And if you notice, a lot of them are being raised by their grandparents.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And their grandparents are tired.
How many people have I seen
like,
where
they're old. I mean, no disrespect.
And they
you
loving
done.
them.
Right. You raised your kids.
I'm done now. I ain't even a grandpa yet.
Now you
I'm like,
raising
I'm
2 and
done.
3-year-olds. How am I 70 years old?
You can't do it.
Raising a 2 or 3-year-old, and I got to get up.
Especially in this generation kids, you can't whoop them and be like, "Cause I said so." You do that to my 5-year-old. See what you get out of that.
Yeah,
it's not
ain't
the
happening
same.
with that one out there. He already
I was going to say,
knows.
that's not the way my family rolled. First of all, I wasn't going to tell them what I was and wasn't going to do.
5-year-olds today, if you want the best out of them, it's better to learn to communicate with them versus beating their ass because I said so.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's not that I'm saying we was beat.
Right.
No, but
We was beat.
My parents, just...
I was chastised.
I was chastised and I was spanked. I wouldn't say I was beat or anything like that.
Okay,
but it was just...
I was chastised because my parents loved me and they didn't do it to, you know.
Yeah.
But
torture
I just knew my dad was the man of the house. And I knew nothing wasn't going to fly. If my mom tell my dad something, I'm out of there.
Right.
Oh, they
You
know
what I'm
that too.
So,
Yeah.
and also I was scared of I was scared of my parents. I was like, my parents are my parents. And don't get me wrong, I was bad in my own way.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because sometimes people think that when you say I'm afraid of my parents,
No, not
they
like-
think, no, I know,
no,
but
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
people get it misconstrued
That's
because
'cause they
say,
parents-
oh, well, I'm afraid of my parents. I was fearful that I would disappoint my parents.
Precisely.
And I knew exactly what it is they expected of me. And I
Precisely.
did not want them to be disappointed.
Precisely.
I knew that they would chastise me and punish me, but it was never a thing to where they would take anything from me to prove a point to say, well, this is what I told you that you should have done, that you didn't do it. So it was never, I never felt abused. I knew what I was supposed to do, how it was supposed to be done, and I knew it had to be done in a certain time frame. And if I didn't do that, I knew the consequences. Now, the consequences didn't always end up in me getting a spanking.
Right.
It did end up me being, punished or whatever, but just depending on what it was.
Yeah.
So like I feared that. But when a lot of times people hear the word fear and they're like, oh my God, is your parent beating you? Or like, what's going on? Are they locking you in the dungeon? You know?
No,
So
yeah.
Definitely not.
Just as you have stated, let me clarify that for anybody out there in the
Thank
LBK.
you, because
Yeah.
my parents
'Cause
are
we-
awesome.
Right.
Yeah, we ain't nobody. And when people say, I said it's the same thing as when you say you fear God.
Right.
God ain't beating you or nothing, but you
Right.
know there's a set program that you're supposed to follow.
Exactly.
And if you don't, it's to your
But
detriment.
people will totally take that out of context.
Right. So no, we're not afraid of our parents like they killing us or something.
Right.
They just holding my face under the water in the bathtub.
Exactly.
No, we ain't talking about that. We're talking about I didn't want to disappoint my parents.
Exactly.
And I was afraid of
Or embarrass them.
or embarrass them or anything like that. That's what I'm talking about when I
Right.
say scared of my parents.
Exactly.
Now, we did get spankings
Yeah.
and we did get grounded,
Right.
but there was rules. I knew anything
Not
below
like
a C.
the movies where you see them.
Yeah,
No.
good grades. It was gonna be some good grades. It was gonna be yes sir and no sir, yes ma'am and no ma'am in my household. That you bet not say yeah.
They pushed us to what they expected of us, and they expected us to be that.
Right.
Also, so 2 things on that topic. Going back to the whole staying at home mom, right? You see things differently when you're younger. So now that I'm at a different stage in my life, I appreciate everything that they represented. I only know how to be as good of a mom that I am today.
Yeah.
Because of how I was
saw an
raised,
example.
because of my grandmother, because of my aunts and the people in that community. So I'm glad we're going back on this because I never want to talk about like my life wasn't great. My life was amazing,
Right.
And the things that I saw that were problematic when I was younger, today, look at who I am, And this, if you were to ask me, how does Sister Circle come about? My answer would be, it's been growing since I was a baby. It has been a part of who I am and finally manifesting into what it is today,
Yeah.
Balanced life. You have to know yourself. And so then we give you tools to get the balance, but those same tools, the same boundaries you put on who could show up at your house is the same boundaries you put on your business as who you do business with,
Right.
who you let come into your store, who you spend your time on the phone with. So this is not for everybody.
Right.
And anybody who show up and it's not for them, they let themselves go, thankfully. We don't have to get rid of nobody. But in that, when they do come to the meeting, they are very necessary for that one meeting.
Right. Or
You
that
understand?
second meeting.
So
Or
they
that
might
third
not come
meeting.
back again. But for that meeting, they were very necessary and they played their part.
Right.
And guaranteed they got something out of it. They just might not be a routine person.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Later on they might be. But today, it's not. We're not trying to convince nobody.
Right.
We believe in balanced, which means it has to be like-minded individuals who join us. That if we're learning something, we're all elevating. That whole is lonely at the top. Not if you're taking people with you,
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's what this is for.
Okay.
Right.
So we work on physical. We do a movement session at the beginning. 1, to, the icebreaker. But 2, because we know how if your body ain't feeling well, you can't do nothing anyway. Not at home, not at business, not nothing. If your mental not well, you can't do nothing anyway. You know? So this is not for everybody. And it's okay. You will not hurt our feelings if you tell us this is not for you.
Right.
We actually will be very thankful because you're saving all of us time. You and us, you know?
Absolutely.
Right. Interesting. So, Vanessa, give me something tangible or something real in your life that you have gotten from being part of the sister circle.
Whew, how much time you got? No.
We got
but just seeing people come together, hearing different perspectives of how different people, think, how different people, even sitting back, processing things. I'm an observer and, listening to people's stories and then hearing how a lot of them relate to not just something that I've experienced, in the past maybe, but how a lot of it is relatable to everything that's going on in the world today. Because a lot of things people don't really realize, you're not the only person that's going through that. So what I have received from it is the fact that it is a safe space. I don't feel odd speaking out openly about something that people either may not understand or they may have not experienced it. So it's just one of those things for me. I've experienced and received so much, especially from this woman sitting right here. Because initially us meeting, I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. She was the first person that I met in Lubbock.
Oh, really?
She was the first person that I met in Lubbock. And to say that it connected like so quickly, because I'm like, okay, I'm at this age where I'm like, okay, yeah. Like, okay, it's cool to be in association with the person or whatever. I always have time for friends, but it takes that moment. But it's like that energy was there.
Yeah.
It was like we wanted the same things. And so wanting the same thing personally, business wise, family wise, and all that other stuff, I definitely take a lot of that from her, as well as some of the other women too. What they're experiencing in their work life, what they're experiencing in business, what they're experiencing in personal life or whatever. I can relate to a lot of them, and the feedback that we can give one another and take it and apply it into our personal lives, that I've definitely taken a lot of stuff from that, from individuals, small pieces from individuals.
What were you gonna say?
I could add to her list of what that
please
she's probably not thinking about. She's put boundaries on how she answer her phone and when.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
She no longer, I know, because she don't answer my phones right away.
You created a monster.
Yeah. So she don't, and I'm proud of it because it makes me think. She also, going back to business, right? If something works in one area, it works in all areas. I always say there's never a time that people are going to join this circle and not use a service of any of ours, right? I've referred several people to her business.
She has.
We also have several people within the sister circle who, if not yet, will use her business.
Right.
But it gave her a voice to represent her business routinely.
And not be fearful about it.
Yeah.
Why were you fearful about representing your business?
Being in a new place. And the thing is that I don't even want to call it fear. That's just the enemy just trying to say, okay, you don't need to talk about that. No, nobody want that because of where I came from. The people weren't really forthcoming, knowing that they needed it.
Right.
And then my enthusiasm was like, I know y'all need this. Boom, let's get it and run this together.
Right.
But now I'm like, I'm in a new place. I don't know too many people. Let me not sound like somebody who is trying to get somebody to buy something.
Right.
Well, guess what? I'm not trying to get you to buy anything. I'm just providing you a resource of something that everybody needs, whether you recognize it or not, one way or another.
Well,
so yeah,
that's a perfect time to get into this. What is your business about? Fintech, is that what you're referring to?
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about fintech.
So fintech is financial technology, just short for financial technology. So if you think about Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, all that's fintech all of that is fintech. So I provide financial resources for every single person. It is not a specific color or race of people. I provide a service, resources, multiple services for every single person that is breathing. You know, business credit, business funding, will and trust, life insurance, savings accounts, personal credit, a number of we all need that. We I don't know anybody that doesn't need a will.
Right.
You know, if you don't have one, you should be getting one. Like right now, like yesterday. You
So
know,
how specifically do you help people get wills?
so I partner with a company by the name of Nove. They are based out of Conyers, Georgia. It is owned, run, operated and by us, Black and brown people. Our phenomenal CEO, Mr. Rico McCambry. We've been in business for 10 years, and he is a phenomenal man that created this platform for us Black and brown people to provide this resource so that we can be beneficial to other people, to help everyone be more financially literate. And one of the main problems that we have is the fact that we were not taught, but we can only be taught what our parents know.
Right.
So if we're not taught about credit, if we're not taught about what your credit report should look like or saving or anything like that, we don't know. So if we don't know it, we can't teach our children. And if our children don't know because we weren't taught, we didn't teach them, they can't teach their children. So just partnering with this company overall, number one, first and foremost, we are a God first company. That right there it says enough, because it's not just providing spiritual resources, you know, by collaborating with like-minded people, but it also puts you in position to be better financially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word. So how does one join this sister circle? Do you need a password? Is it
You
like
gotta knock
is it
twice.
like you gotta knock twice?
Bump your head.
Yeah. What-
Up until today, it has been just me encountering women who walk into my store or just bumping into women. But over the last couple weeks, we learned a big lesson that we need a better way of, you know, deciding who comes to the sister circle and who don't, without also deterring people who really need it, even if it's just a one session. So we're still fine-tuning how one belongs to the sister circle, but for now, anybody can come to one session.
Okay.
But after that one session, so this is we just actually had our last one for the year, and we're gonna have a celebration before the year's over to celebrate what we've come until now. But from now until January, we're gonna be fine-tuning the hell out of how somebody becomes a part of the sister circle, because just like a business, right? You don't want anybody coming in if they can tear you down, especially when you realize that it's not just you. You know, we built the sister circle, but there are other women who are being impacted if the wrong spirit walks in there, you know? And so we have to, as the leaders, we have to protect their sacred space. We have to protect their growth. And so we have to do better with determining how people really become a part of the sister circle. And I thought about it for a lot. It made me a little insecure at first about having this interview when something so big happened within the circle that made us realize we have to reevaluate. But then that insecurity went out the window when I realized the people who left, they weren't ready anyway. You know, and the people who were there, they have boxes they can check off now.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it made me feel good about that. And it made me feel good about the boxes that they're actually checking off.
Right.
But also, they did us such a big favor by making us realize we need to do better.
Yeah.
This was a really good start. Our goals are really good for the women, but we know we can start tailoring it a little bit different. We didn't know before.
It's time to revamp and rebrand.
Yeah, so
just like any business, business, we rebrand ourselves. You think about as we get older, when we turn, that milestone year, like, oh, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to travel more. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. We make more plans. So everything goes through a rebranding and a revamp stage.
Yeah,
and this
look at my clothes.
I think this is the stage where revamping and rebranding, and we're not Xing anybody out.
No,
because
they're still welcome when they're
absolutely
ready.
Because everybody is ready for different things at different times.
Yeah.
What you got from the first 2 sessions, it may have benefited you at that time, but something else may benefit. You may need something else. You may need a break, and then when you come back, we might be in session 10. And then you may get something from some session 10, from session 11, from session 12, and it's going to be beneficial and how you can move forward in your life, in your family, in your business, and just kind of like go and grow from there. And like no one's X'd out. No one is saying, oh, well, you stop coming. You can't. No, it's not that. Everybody has different spans in their life of what they need, and only they know what they need and when they need it. So
now y'all done piqued my curiosity and alluded to something that happened. What was the experience that opened y'all's eyes to the need for some changes?
Before all of that, I want to say, to add to that, is that also as a leader, we don't always lead on the same levels.
absolutely.
So now my communication is more sharp about what the sister circle is and what it isn't. Now I know how to speak about it so that I attract the people who are looking specifically for that.
Right.
So what happened was that we had a few sisters join, and then they're all but one of them were somewhat connected. Okay. And I went on a Vegas trip for training. And when I was there, I had this moment of insecurity, because before I traveled, I encouraged them to still have a sister circle. And then when I traveled, I had this insecurity that, wow, did I just hand over what I've taken, more than 6 months to build to, did I just hand it over free like that? And it gave me a flashback of, so I have a locksmith company in Oregon, and the company, I brought so many people in. We grew, we made a lot of money, right? Everybody grew. But because of my lack of leadership, and also their, however they seen stuff, it blew up and they were able to take it from me. Okay. So here I was having a flashback like, damn, did I just serve it away? Because I've always been an open person with business. If I know, right? Because I want everybody to be successful, right? But not everybody have our best interest. No. And also, not everybody does it intentionally. But just because they don't do it intentionally, it don't mean that it don't hurt you.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so it broke up relationships. It broke up the business, everything. So when I came back, I joined this sister circle that I convinced them to have. And that insecurity lasted a second. But then it went away because what clicked to me was that I chose the foundation of the sister circle. These women had my back. I know Vanessa got my back. I know, some of these women, they really got my back. And when they sent me the invitation, it made me even more proud, because the invitation said, we're representing Shama Banks, pretty much made sure that I was. So
they didn't at all.
They didn't leave me out.
No.
No. But when I voiced my insecurity, because they were asking what was the good and the bad of this week, and I was saying to the way that I communicated was probably really off. My good was that I had this insecurity, but it was shut down in seconds because I realized who I surrounded myself with the sister circle. And that they made me feel even more confident when I got the invite. The women who disappeared, most of them heard only the insecurity.
Right.
And they got defensive. We're not trying to steal nothing from you. You know, we thought we were doing something good, but they didn't really hear. You know how like you grasp, everybody grasps certain things.
Yeah.
Right.
People hear what they want to hear too.
And
Exactly.
one thing stuck.
And
One
that's
thing
all
stuck.
it stuck. And then after that, I went home. And this whole thing felt kind of heavy, you know, talk about your intuition. And sometimes you need to listen to it.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time, right? So I went home and I started thinking, I'm like, what is wrong here? What is going on? Because that insecurity shouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Right.
You know? And what I realized was that these people who had came in were new. They didn't know all the foundation of what the sister circle was. And even though no matter who I invite, I always say, this can help your business. There's nobody that I talk to that I invite them to the sister circle where I don't talk about business.
Right.
So they didn't hear that. They heard sister circle as if it's just like a gathering.
Right.
You get what I mean? And so when I came back the next day, I'm fired up. I mean, the next week, I'm fired up. And I'm like, okay, y'all, you know, y'all made me realize like we
are a sister circle.
We're a sister circle, but the message is not clear. We need to clear it up. And I said, this is business.
Right.
But with this business, we talk about all of this personal stuff because it helps with the business.
Yeah, you are your business. Like you said.
Absolutely.
I'm
Your
a
business
walking
is-
standard representation. I said that. I said the whole point of this is so that everything you do turns into gold.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay? And I also said how when it comes to friends and family and we doing something for somebody, because a sister circle is free, you typically disrespect it.
Yeah.
You don't show up on time. You show up when you want to show up. You know, but when you paying for something, you going to be on time because you don't
You
want
gonna
to
be
waste
early.
your money.
Yeah.
And if we're here to make progress, I'm going to need y'all to treat it with the same respect that you treat something paid.
Right.
Because I am walking away from my family to do this. Now, I don't feel bad about it because I know what I do at home for my kids and my husband. But I choose to come here, and I'm here at this time every day, and then people waltzing in a half hour late.
Yeah.
And I said, if that's the only time you could come because shit happens, you know, by all means, still come because we don't want you to, you know, to not get what you need. But just know I'm not going to repeat nothing.
Right.
Because if you really want to make changes in life,
you got to sacrifice.
you got to step up, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like if you work a 9 to 5. If you literally walk into a meeting 20 minutes late, your boss is not going to stop and refresh you on what you missed because that boss may have another meeting after that. So if you missed the first 20 minutes and that meeting is wrapping up in 5 minutes, you better either figure out with a coworker and try to figure out what you missed and go in and say, you know what? Hey, did you take notes? What happened? What did he talk about? Don't expect that boss to stop what he or she is doing to come back and catch you up on what you missed because you knew you had to be there.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, and exactly, you absolutely should look at it this way because you are paying for this with your time.
Yeah.
And other
And my
people's
time
time,
is
exactly, and
priceless.
other
I don't care
people's
what
time as
nobody
well.
say.
Yeah.
My time is priceless.
Yep.
Again, I'm not mad at these women. I have no ill intentions for them. I just know what I'm here to represent.
Yeah.
And if it's for you, cool. And if it's not for you, I appreciate you. You know, let me know it's not for you. And I also appreciate them making me realize I need to step up, you know, because if you are looking at me like a mentor, I need to fulfill that role.
Right.
But I also think that if you see somebody as a mentor, you know, or you see them as a sister, I told my real sisters years ago, if you ever cut me off, don't ever consider me your sister again. That shit is like that life is over. I'm here for the long term.
Right.
You know? So if I'm really your sister, if you choose to be my sister, I want to help you like till you get to wherever you could get, you know? And I want the same in return. Don't expect nothing out of me that I won't do for you, you know? And so they were perfect for then.
Right.
You know, and they
Perfect
might
for
be
their
perfect.
season,
yeah. They might be perfect for later
everybody
too.
And everything has a season.
Yeah.
But they definitely opened up my eyes to things that I need to do differently, things that we need to do differently with the sister circle. That's why when she explained the sister circle, I'm like, no. Let's reiterate it and make it very clear on what the sister circle is. Who is this actually for?
Right. But I think that takes some soul searching too.
Yeah.
Because like Ellie said, like Ellie said earlier, you know, it is not a man bashing session. And that's what my fiance calls it. He was like, y'all did y'all man bashing session. Like, first, I said, sir, y'all be the last things on our mind. We literally come and sit down and talk to each other and talk about different things that's relatable to life. To how you can succeed in life, how you can grow in life. And unfortunately, not everybody is in a space or has that mindset to grow in life. And it may not be right now. You may need a little bit more time to get your stuff together and say, I don't want to be out here in these streets, as they say. I want to settle down and focus on A, B, and C. But everybody has a certain time. And sometimes being around people that are in that space, people are either going to grasp that and say, you know what, I think I'm ready to settle down. Or they're going to say, I'm not ready yet. If they're honest with themselves, we have to hold ourselves accountable to say, I'm ready for this, and then not waste. I'm ready for this, and not waste anybody's time when somebody's trying to show you or help you or get you to that space where you want to be, not where we want you to be, where you want to be. Only you know that. But at the same time, if you're not ready for this, that's okay too. No judgment. We still love you, sis.
Yeah.
When you're ready. Or whatever, even if you need like that little individual one-on-one, say, hey, you know what, I need a little bit of assistance. You got that here. Nobody's turning backs on anybody. We are still here to help as many people as possible, as many women as possible grow and just win. Yeah.
My mentor told me too. She said, if you are a leader and you're having an insecurity, you speak of that insecurity upwards. You don't speak of it downwards because when you speak of it downwards, it's not translated properly, you know? Yeah. And if you go upwards, they can help you with solutions.
You don't, same thing we learned in the military. You don't complain to your troops, you complain to your flight.
To the people who got started before you. Yeah.
And this is the first time that I've created a group. I've done mentoring one-on-one, you know, so I haven't been in this position, but also I represent a lot of businesses as well as me, you know, and I'm a very friendly person. I'm not doing business with somebody I can't be friendly with. And what I realized was that when these women decided not to be a part of Sister Circle, they cut themselves off from all the businesses, which is a lesson to me. You know, and I actually thought about you in a whole Costco run, right? And I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to be like that. And so the last sister who called me and told me she wasn't coming no more, you know, I said, this sounds like a breakup. I still have a locksmith business. I still have a clothing store, you know, I'm still your friend. You know, this doesn't... My feelings are okay. You know, if the sister circle isn't for you, that's okay. Right. But we still have all of these other things. So trying to make sure that going forward, if somebody join or leaves the sister circle, that it's not an impact all. Right. You know?
Right.
Yeah. So we're getting close to our little time allotted for today. Yeah. So I got another guest coming in after this. We got a couple that we're recording. Gotcha. If y'all don't mind, both of y'all give me the 60-second elevator pitch for why people should come to why sisters should come to the sister circle and what it is and what it ain't, and be there or be square. Go.
Me? Okay. Yeah. I feel like as a sister, if that circle is for you, you should definitely attend, because you will definitely have a sister. You will also get resources. You will also get tools that help you in life, not just business. If you don't know what business looks like, We will help you get that understanding of what business looks like, but you have to be able to see it for yourself to know exactly what it is you want in your life.
Okay. Shama,
I
take
have
us
a
home.
sister who is my neighbor who joined, and she doesn't have a business.
Absolutely.
But what it did for her is it brought her dreams back. And now she's taking steps to make sure that she can have her dreams in reality.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
you don't have to have an actual LLC.
lady.
You have to have goals and willing to do what's necessary to have them goals accomplished in a fun way.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. LBK. You know how I'm always harping on the fact that we got people in this fair flat city of ours who claim that there's nothing to do. And that's one of the reasons we started this show. First thing we do every Monday at 6 a.m. is put out a list of things to do. Well, here goes something else for you to do if you are the right type of woman. It can't just be any what they say, can't be any joke off the street. And we're gonna put the information down here in the show notes on how to contact Shama and how to get something started. But if you feel like you need a circle, a sister circle, a circle of, I don't want to say upwardly mobile, but women who are moving in a positive direction in life, no matter if they're business owners or not, if you need some encouragement, if you need something, some arms to lean on sometimes, if you want to provide an arm, if you need resources, it sounds like if you need sisterhood and fellowship as a whole person, knowing that you are a mother, a wife, a daughter, a business owner, and all of the other things that you might be, then it sounds like this might be the place for you. This sister circle. Like I said, we'll put down some of the contact information in the show notes down here. But for now, I am your brother Robert Jenkins, closing off with yet another wonderful episode of the Focus LBK show. Hope y'all keep tuning in and y'all take it easy. And I want to say peace.